How's it going, you sexy beasts? My name is Drathamus, and today we will be quickly running through the new Resource Revamp update coming soon to a PlanetSide 2 near you. This update, alongside the Directives update, which I will cover in a later video, will both be hitting live servers next month in one massive patch to add a complete metric ass ton of progression and depth to the game. In this particular video, we'll be looking at the new resources. Keep in mind that everything discussed in this video is taken from the test server, which is subject to change radically before being released onto the live servers. If you're wondering how to get onto the test server, click that miraculously appearing annotation to be taken to a video of mine showing how to get to it. The Resource Revamp itself is something a lot of people have been asking for and will be taking advantage of many to-be-implemented mechanics on the battlefield. Speculation suggests we will be gaining increased resources depending on the facility, how the battle is going, whether or not a specific generator is still intact, or if the facility in question is even connected to a warp gate. As stated though, that's all speculation. What we currently have is the complete removal of all current resources. Aerospace, infantry, and ground resources have been replaced with the omnipotent nanites that rule Auraxium. These are granted to every player on a continent with a warp gate that they own at 50 nanites per minute. If you're a seasoned player, you'll auto-magically notice that that's a lot more resources over time than the current resource iteration. As with the current iteration, it highly rewards those who farm efficiently in a vehicle or who can kick some serious ass with their boots on the ground. If you're within a base that gives ground resources while you're driving a combine or a tractor, a farm vehicle or a tank, yeah, that's what it's called, you're actually gaining resources per every kill you attain. With the new system, everyone has a flat rate of nanite income in order to level the playing field. Currently, higher skilled players can remain in a vehicle near indefinitely due to that tick of resources per kill. If they lose a tank, just fall back to another base and spawn a new one. Only inhibiting factor is that deployment time, which can be certified to be drastically lowered. With nanites and the new resource revamp, all acquisition timers have been removed and anyone who have spent certifications on such will be refunded. Now, the acquisition timer is essentially your resource count. Say for example, we have 750 nanites, which is the current cap on the test server. We go to spawn a Vanguard tank for 450 nanites. If that tank were to somehow immediately die, we could technically spawn another one right after if we had the necessary resources. That's where continental dominance would come in handy. But if we compare it to live servers, the moment we spawn a tank for those ground resources, we're still having a steady flow of it. So by the time the tank dies, we've more than likely earned enough resources back into our pocket to spawn a new one. The only inhibiting factor is, once again, that acquisition timer. With the proposed revamped resource system, the 450 nanites from the Vanguard are essentially on hold until it dies. So if we spawn a 450 nanite Vanguard with our 750 nanite cap, we'll be held at 300 total nanites until our tank is destroyed. This prevents players from constantly spawning vehicles one after another, essentially just throwing them away. This resource hold, though, isn't currently on the public test server, but has been discussed by the developers on the Twitterverse, so I'm not entirely sure if it will make it into the resource revamp patch, implemented at a later date, or just scrapped entirely. How will this resource revamp affect players who prefer infantry-only combat? Honestly, you won't see a damn bit of difference, aside from the removal of consumable inventory. Currently, you can hold up to 40 of whatever consumable you want, which is all fine and dandy, as you only really need to purchase what you want to use or stockpile it up if you prefer. With the new resource revamp, that 40 limit is removed and you actually have no ability to stockpile consumables. Now you have to turn on auto resupply in order to be given your consumable of choice, where the game will spend the necessary nanites in order to supply your consumables for you. Active or lethal grenades such as fragmentation, sticky, anti-vehicle, or concussion grenades cost 50 nanites each. Tactical grenades such as decoys, EMP, smoke, or healing grenades cost 25 nanites each. Lastly, nanite revive grenades cost 75 nanites each. For the utility slot, restoration kits cost 25 nanites, medical kits cost 50, and C4 cost 75 nanites. Anti-tank mines cost 50, and proximity mines cost 75. Just keep auto resupply enabled and your stock should be kept full by the time you next respawn. Unless you're like me and you love throwing sticky grenades way too damn much. What does all of these things mean for you? Well, in its current state, not much. They've just combined all the resource pools into one instead of three. SOE's plan to add more depth to the system involving facilities such as amp stations to amplify the amount of resources flowing through a lattice lane and other stuff like that. in which an attacking team could attempt to secure the amp station for themselves or destroy a particular generator on the facility to remove the resource benefit from the other team. Due to how pricey items are, I kind of hope that the resource flow is toned down a little bit and bases are made to focus on obtaining a constant or abundant flow of nanites. There's plenty of depth that the resource revamp can add to the game. I'd love to see outfits or platoons moving in to secure one central facility in order to gain a resource income multiplier, or moving to cut off the opposing forces, thus starving them of resources. The added layer of complexity would be a nice addition to the game, though it may sound rudimentary in its first iteration. This is just the groundwork, but should allow SOE to add plenty more avenues to the much needed metagame of PlanetSide 2. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a big ass thumbs up. If you disliked it, thumbs down, and let me know what I can improve upon. Do you like the new resource revamp? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. Keep in mind that if something does bother you about the resource revamp, I strongly urge you to take to the PlanetSide 2 public test server forums and post your constructive criticism there so the developers know what you want. Once again, thank you for watching. Check out the description to follow the channel and all its social links, and if you'd like to see more videos like these, then go ahead and subscribe. It's absolutely free.